Hi, my name is Otávio. I'm one of the developers of Ibiporã. And Ibiporã is a top-down action adventure and shoot-'em-up game where you must protect Brazil of monsters from USA that invaded the country, playing with folk creatures from the Brazilian culture. The player fight against numerous hordes of enemies and switch between creatures from the Brazilian folklore, such as Saci Pererê, Boitatá, and Mula-Sem-Cabeça. The player also must survive or destroy the hordes to face the final boss, Jack Trumpkin O Lantern. The unique selling point of our game is how it makes a critic using humor and culture. You fight against the invisible but notorious enemy from the real life, the American cultural colonialism. Allied with that, the game has a chaotic gameplay and variation as the player levels up, gets stronger, and tries new characters and new ways to deal with the hundreds of enemies. Our target audience are roguelike action and shoot-'em-up game lovers. Also, casual players are one of our targets, as the game can be easily enjoyed without too much effort from the player. But one of our most important audiences are in Latin America, which is a people who will identify themselves with the game's theme. Additionally, our range even goes for the bullet heaven players, who are always playing and trying a new game on this genre. And speaking of genre, which is our niche and who are our competitors? As said before, Ibiporã is a action shoot-'em-up and roguelike game. Games like Vampire Survivors and Brotato resurrected the shoot-'em-up genre, mixing it with roguelike gameplay, a vicious and fun style of game. These genres are in fashion. As an example, Megabunk, released this year in September, has already sold more than 1 million copies. It proves that the players want more games like these. So, the minimum budget we're asking you for completing the game prototype is 1 programmer, 2 2D artists, 1 game designer, 1 soundtrack artist. And for this team, we are asking you for $12,000 to $15,000. The idea would be publishing the game on Steam and Epic Games, 2 programmers, 2 2D artists, 1 game designer, 1 soundtrack artist, 1 sound effects designer. For this team, $20,000 to $30,000. The maximum for this team would be publishing in more platforms, like the Nintendo consoles, Xbox consoles, and PlayStation consoles. 2 programmers, 3D2 artists, 2 game designers, 1 soundtrack artist, 2 sound effects designers, and 1 marketing person. And for this project, $40,000 to $55,000. Development timeline: on the 2nd to 3rd month would be completing the game scope. On the 4th month, playtests and gathering in feedback from these playtests. On the 5th and 7th month, gather the feedback, fix bugs, improve and add suggested mechanics. On the 4th month. 8th month, game polishing and pre-release on a strong marketing strategy. 9th month, game release. So the team is composed by Douglas Naut, game designer, sound effects designer, also a student, Otávio Valensky, myself, the other game designer, sound effects designer, PUC-PR students. The team: Nix, programmer, PUC-PR student, Bianca Martins, 2D artist, made the characters, Julia Ferracini, 2D artist, made the scenarios, Luíza Talamini, 2D artist, made the characters also. The team: Pedro Henrique Ginski, 2D artist, helped on the scenarios, Mauro Evangelista, soundtrack leader, composed the soundtrack. And this is Ibiporã. Thank you for your attention. Here's our email for contact. Check out the description of this video for checking out the portfolio of our developers. Again, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the idea of the game. Thank you.